Hi guys and welcome to Little Bit of This and That. This is Broken Sword Part 10. For some reason I didn't introduce it properly when I recorded it. Hope you enjoy. We're back. Now we're going to talk to the receptionist.
Excuse me.
Or not.
Yes, sir.
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
That's correct.
I thought I was in
a garden centre.
Oh, the plant.
Oh, the plantae. They were my idea. Oh, the plants. Little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature.
How may I help you?
How may I help you? Right. For some reason I can't hear.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I can hear it now. For some reason it's only coming out of one ear. So.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Is this plaster any use to you?
I'm allergic to plaster.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
That's a bit worrying.
What does this false nose remind you of?
Oh, it's a clown's nose.
Can you think of any use for this greasy tissue?
I guess you could use it to baste a roast turkey.
Oh.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
Why is shaking by the hand in
What
France
does
such a
this
sexual
tool
thing?
suggest to you?
Is it a crack detector?
Huh?
Polar explorers use them to poke about in the snow.
Oh.
No. Have you heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds romantic, doesn't it?
No, not
Look
really.
at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin.
Oh.
Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
What does this gem suggest to you?
I advise you not to flash that around.
Okay.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade.
Okay.
Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J.
Mm-hmm.
How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge.
Left, right, right.
Turn left past the administrator's sauna.
Left, right, right,
And
left.
turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Go left, right, right, left. Left.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay, so down the left corridor. Down this one then.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Not very nice, George.
Do you recognize this powder?
Is that dandruff?
A lot of dandruff.
It sure looks like dandruff.
It's plaster.
Ugh.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
Okay.
Take a look at this red nose.
Are you a policeman?
No, this is a clown's nose, not a policeman's. Would you like to shake my hand?
Not until I've washed, if you don't mind, sir.
Fair enough.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
You have a cold. What you need is vitamin C.
Okay.
Would this tool be any use to you?
No, sir. Mr. Shiny has no user-serviceable parts. Whatever that means.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
You should never, ever play with matches.
And that's very true.
But
People get hurt when they do. They end up in hospital, like the burger lady. She was so burned up, they didn't know whether to use bandages or onions.
Okay.
do you recognize this pass?
No, I don't. Should I?
No, but I wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
What do you think of this, Sam?
Oh, boy. What is it?
A priceless gemstone, found in a medieval castle in Ireland. Get me into Marquet's ward, and it's yours.
I don't wear jewellery.
If this gem was yours, you'd be able to buy 100 Mr. Shinies.
Don't be silly. There's only one Mr. Shiny.
Okay.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Who else do you think Mr. Shiny
Don't
is?
call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind me back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull-through.
Okay.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now. Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Alright. We're going to need to unplug it and then go back round, I think.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
I want to get in that cleaning cupboard. In there that I need. Come on, quick, before he comes around the corner. Oh, we did. It's a doctor's coat. Okay. Okay. That should help with the nurse.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Is this plaster any use to you?
No, it isn't.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Oh, sorry for a little bit of cut there, guys. Just had to sort something out for my youngest daughter.
Do you
So give her a
recognize
nose.
this red nose?
Oh yeah, it helps if I put the
I don't think he'll be needing that again.
earbuds in, doesn't it?
Monsieur Boissy, the comatose clown.
Okay.
Do you recognize this tissue?
No, I don't. It looks like a chronic health risk to me.
Well, I've been carrying it around for days and I'm okay. Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well,
That's okay. Forget it.
Ah.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I don't recognize it.
Does this mean anything to you?
The Club Alamut? I've never heard of it.
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
How did she know it was the Club Alamut?
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
It's beautiful, but I've never seen it before.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
Oh.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's
no.
unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
I wonder
It's
what
an
it
ill
was.
wind that does nobody any good. Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Okay.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So we'll go talk to the patient and then we'll go and see if we can get on into...
Hello?
room.
Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
It looks like plaster.
Okay.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer. Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
Have you any idea what this is?
No, doctor. I wouldn't even like to guess.
That is not a good idea.
All you might need is a bit of a shock to get up.
Do you know what this tool is used for?
I'd rather not, doctor.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
I'm not really a nightclub man, doctor.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, doctor.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, doctor.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
I was going to say, you didn't even put it on his arm.
About Marquet.
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Ooh.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, doctor, what's your opinion?
I think you're alright.
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
I suppose so, yeah. I suppose if you're...
Come back later.
So, like, over here you have, like, nursing staff, and then, like, the head of the nursing staff of a particular ward is, matron. And generally they are quite, I suppose what you would call strict. But it's not because they're, like, really, really strict people. It's just that they... Yeah? What?
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
I did.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
So, is he just going to keep stopping us every time?
Oh, Doctor.
What now?
You didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
But we did. We got to talk to Nurse Grendel about maybe putting him out or something.
Okay, let's try again.
You're not putting it on his arm, George.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners.
See if we can...
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Is there anything we can take off the table? No. We can't talk to these guys, but we can't go any further past him.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
No, it's because he's
I'll
involved
come
with a
back
killer.
when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder.
Are we like, can we go past now, or is he just going to keep calling us back?
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Oh my god. We've got, I don't know if because it keeps changing, so I don't know if we just have, is there anything, I mean I showed him my inventory. Let's see, there's nothing I can do. So I will head down that way. What? Oh, there's another doctor there. Doing.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Yes, sir? Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit. Do you know what this white powder is?
No, sir?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. I've never seen him before.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Is that a nasal discharge, sir?
No, it's grease paint. Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Isn't that used to snap the patient's ribs when exploring the abdomen?
Don't think so.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, sir.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Merlin?
No, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Does this gem mean anything to you?
Not me, sir.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
See you later.
Right.
Anything that this dude will tell me.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man.
Oh, okay.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Sure.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Hey.
Hey, Benoit!
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Keep it safe until I think of something. Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right behind you, sir.
Okay, so if we head down here, is he going to follow us? Oh yeah, there he is.
Hi, it's me again. I'll come back later.
So we should be able to go past the bed now. We'll get him to take his blood
You
pressure.
haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
No?
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder. Hey, Benoit!
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
So, oh, does that mean we can now walk past? Policeman. Oh, I bet he's going to stop up.
Rather you than me, pal.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Okay.
Can you think of any sensible use for this plaster?
Sensible? No. Puerile? Yes. But you've probably thought of those already.
So this is the dude that we
Do you
saw, I think,
recognize the man in this
guarding the
photograph?
Carchon's
No,
residence.
I have never seen him before.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Don't get cute with me.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
It looks as if it has been used to wipe Satan's bottom.
I hate to say it, but you could be right. Would you like to shake hands?
What for?
As a gesture of goodwill.
On reflection? No.
What do you think this tool is used for?
Branding mice without bending down.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds Middle Eastern.
Are you Thomas Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No.
Then you won't be needing this. Do you recognize this gem?
It isn't an emerald, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
No, because emeralds are
Have you
green,
seen
I
any
think.
suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No. This was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, Doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
But it is.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, Doc.
Okay, so can we go in? We can go in.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Assassin, I think that's meant to be. So he's not very well, obviously.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of.
Somebody's going to steal the thing.
I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Oh.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
Of what? Did you just die on me?
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeier was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter!
Quick, get back in there.
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Did he just shoot the door open? Really? Oh. Back in Nico's apartment.
Hello, Georges.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Maybe Hashiashin then wasn't assassin. Maybe it was an actual thing.
Staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Hey.
That is not a good idea. I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
I think that means we're going to the... because we can't go to the hospital anymore. So we're off to the museum. See if Lobineau is there. Hello, mate.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Hey.
Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No.
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Take a look at this nose, Lobineau.
It really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
Georgie.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing.
And a few
I'd like to
words.
shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
What do you make of this tool?
Interesting. Where did you get it?
From a dig in Paris.
Vraiment? I didn't realize there were any excavations in progress in the city.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Oh, hello.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
Okay.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
No way. What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Pegram? Professor Nigel Pegram?
That's right.
He's in Ireland, investigating a Templar site, isn't he?
Not anymore.
He was, until he disappeared.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
I think so.
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
I am.
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter. Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
Really
Public toilet?
spectacle.
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands.
Oh, okay.
A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
Oh, lovely.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Hey.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Hey.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience.
Ah, that's convenient.
So their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
Okay.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
It's fair, we tried to warn him.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Oh, George.
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point.
Ah, I see.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes. It was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes. They gave a new word to our language. Assassini. The assassins.
Okay.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
Okay.
How did the assassins operate?
Don't understand how that would make someone...
I explained the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Okay. Alright, just put the microphone in front of me. I'm leaning back on the chair, my back's killing me.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Ooh. Okay.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Let's just go check this tripod, shall we?
No, monsieur. No. No. Okay.
Well, I can't even look at it. Oh, okay. Let's go. There we go. So where can we go? Museum, police, Rougerie, cafe. Let's go to the police, see if there's anything new there. Bristol's not back. We will talk to... I'm not going to show him the gem. I think I have actually already shown him the gem.
Sergeant Move.
We've already watched that. So let's go back to Rougerie, shall we? Here we go. This police officer was on hold.
Hello, George.
So...
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from Andre Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
Okay.
Get back to the quest.
So if Andre's already come around, maybe if we go back to the museum, he'll have an answer for us. Okay. Go talk to him.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Hey, I visited Nico's apartment.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
Okay.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
What?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem.
Oh, okay.
Tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Okay.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
Alright.
Can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
Okay, they're probably not.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So,
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
I want to see if I can tell him that the place is going to get robbed.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
See if we can hide in here.
Leave it alone. That closet is over 3,000 years old.
Closet? It's a sarcophagus.
Alright, I think... it's got to be something to do with that sarcophagus. I reckon we got to hide and wait for the guys.
No, monsieur. No. No.
Okay.
Go out now. There's nothing else. We can go back to Nico's apartment. That's not Nico. Maybe we can talk to her
Hello,
about
George.
Is there something going on between you and Lobineau?
What business is it of yours? We agreed all this. The clown, the Templars, strictly business, remember?
Yeah, but...
So get off my case.
Okay guys, I'm going to call that an episode. Thank you so much for joining me today on Broken Sword. If you liked what you saw, make sure you click that like button. If you would like to see more Broken Sword or anything else that we're doing on the channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And also if you hit the bell then or click the bell, then you will be notified of any further videos that go up on the channel. This is goodbye from George, Nico and myself, and also Trinity, and me and Trinity will see you in a video in the future. Bye!